Just like to tell you guys that you are all very nice people. You're not only nice people, but you're good people. And that is precisely the reason why you can't even imagine, you can't even fathom how or why there could be sociopaths out there, many of whom run the governments at the moment of Western countries. And a lot of these people, when you look at them, they look like people who, they kind of give off this image of being, reputable, honorable. You don't really get the impression that they would do anything to deliberately, in a premeditated way, hurt or kill masses of people. And I'm talking like billions of people, guys. Billions. So it's actually a credit to you, I guess, because you're a good person and you believe in the goodness of people, right? But unfortunately, it's to your detriment because you can't see those guys coming from a mile away. I'll just tell you guys, the Botox midget of Russia, he is a very, very manipulative and cunning KGB guy. He's a typical KGB guy. I tell you guys this as a former Soviet citizen. Granted, I was a kid when we left, but my parents dealt with such people for the first 33 years of their lives, more specifically in their 20s. So we know who these people are. They are out in the open. Putin is out in the open. You see him. You see his rotten Botox face, and you know exactly who he is. You do. But I'll tell you guys, these devolved pagans, as my friend Dr. Shmeleko likes to call them, from Shmeto, from World Shmeconomic Shmorum, when you look at them, they have their little events. CNBC covers them. Shmavos, Davos, right? And they have their little events. And they look so nice, and so proper, and so reputable, and so intelligent. They are intelligent, don't get me wrong. They're not stupid. Oh, yeah, diametrical opposite. And they look so helpful, like they want to help you, they want to help. We wanted this for society, and we wanted that for society, we wanted this we hope to achieve this in the next coming months or years or decade or whatever. They look so classy with their suits. They're so presentable. I'm not presentable, guys, you see? That's why I don't go to Davos. I'll never be invited. And, whatever other imaginary BS quality you want to attribute to them, that's what they are. And because of all that, guys, and I've heard it from my friends, how could it be that all these people will collude? It's impossible, Tzvi. It's impossible for these people to collude together to whatever. You haven't a clue that these people literally want to kill you. And they have many different ways that they've devised to do just that. As we've seen over the last 2 years. We've seen it. They are banking on your gullibility and actually that very quality as a generally good person. They know that you're a good person. They're not good people. They know that you're a good person who believes in the goodness of people. Guys, this midget with Botox, he's a rotten human being. But I'll tell you something about him, guys. And this is something that my parents can even agree with. People who dealt with people like him. He is actually a human being. He has human flaws, human anger, human emotions, human whatever, right? He's not a good person, but he's a person after all. Just like Saddam Hussein was a person. Just like even Ahmadinejad is a person. And even the Ayatollah is a person. They're a human. They are humans. Believe me, guys. They are. Assad is a person, is a human. What's his name, that guy? Gaddafi was a human. They are human beings. They are. They were rotten humans, but they were humans. Ladies and gentlemen, people like Justin Trudeau and Jacinda Ardern and Santa Claus Schwab and others like them are and I'm not saying subhuman, are non-human entities. They will kill you and they will not even blink. Gil Bates, also non-human entity. He smiles as he talks about people not being able to get Social Security payments because they're not schmaxinated. Remember when Ardern said, it has its schneid effects, but this is how we know it's working. My friends, do you understand that this is not even a dumb thing to say? She's not stupid. This is sociopathic. Human beings don't say stuff like this, guys. Or Schwab, the wealth of information that can be gathered from wearable devices and implantable technologies. Ladies and gentlemen. Or Gil Bates, we wear pants, what's the problem to wear masks? I'm going to put a virus in your computer. Or the virus itself, Shmomiron, is a type of vaccine. It's done a better job getting the world population than we have with vaccines. Or Yuval Noah Harari, take our organic body and start tinkering with it with things like genetic engineering, up natural selection, and actually replacing it with intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all on videotape. I could show this to you. I'm not going to do it now. You can go look it up. My friends, in the words of Kevin Spacey from Usual Suspects, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. A lot of people are convinced that the World Economic Shmorum and their military apparatus today, unfortunately called Shmedo, doesn't exist. They are convinced that the Botox midget is actually the devil. He's nothing but a KGB guy. Guys, deep down, this guy, in his own very weird way, in his own very cynical, and guys, I know this in the typical Russian way, he wants actually what's, I guess, best for his country. He's just doing it in a very not so good way. But these guys that I just described to you, they do not want what's best for their countries. Actually, guys, they don't even want there to be countries. Do you know who their guru is? Just based on their behavior, I don't know if they have officially announced it. Their guru is a man by the name of John Lennon. Do you guys remember John Lennon? Your favorite musician? Him and his wife broke up the Beatles? Who is hated even among Soviet Jews to this day? Let's look at some of the lyrics from his favorite song, Imagine, guys. Imagine no possessions. AKA, it's 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. Imagine there's no heaven. AKA, no God. Imagine there's no hell. AKA, no consequences for your actions. Imagine, nothing to kill or die for. AKA, nihilism. Or devout paganism. And the world will be as one. My friends, you ever heard of the Tower of Babel? And last but not least, imagine there's no countries, no borders, no nothing. Guys, do you notice how these guys don't want borders, right? They don't want America to have borders. And yet they're cheering Zelensky, and Zelensky should be doing what he's doing, yes, because he wants to defend his borders. Notice how they want to take guns out of our hands here in America, but they're cheering on when Zelensky gives AK-47 Kalashnikovs to his citizens so they can at least attempt to defend themselves from this Botox guy. And they should. He should give it to them, and they should. Guys, don't get me wrong. So you may be asking me, what do we do? Guys, I want to tell you, here's what we do. We have to acknowledge the presence of the devil, these devils, and we should say to their face, because nobody ever said it to their face, guys. Nobody's ever confronted them. Ever, ever, ever. They think that there's conspiracy theorists and masters of misinformation talking about them, and it's like this fringe, group of people, crazy people like myself and others, right? They don't understand that the majority of human beings suspect them and know that it's them. We have to tell them to their face, we know it's you. Ardern, Trudeau, Santa Claus Konshrab, and other people like them, Schmates, Gil Bates, Shmoros, we know it's you. To the face. Guys, do you remember when they threw a pie in Bill Gates' face during his, his hearings, his antitrust hearings, how shocked he was, how in shock he was. My friends, these people sit in ivory towers, they sit in their little mansions, they sit wherever they are, in their bunkers that they built. Nobody ever said it to their face. We know it's you. Okay? My friends, all we need to do is turn the lights on and the cockroaches scatter. And I'm not going to tell you, I don't have to tell you, what happens to cockroaches eventually. What's done with them. And guys, I just want to tell you, and a message to all these devolved pagans. This is a message to you, any one of you listening, devolved pagans, from the Shmorim, from the Shmedo, okay? For some reason, Mr. Yo Mama Obama, I didn't hear you virtue signaling with an Iranian flag for Iranian citizens, or a green flag during the Green Revolution against their Ayatollahs. The Ayatollah, quietly now, because there's a war, and everybody's focusing on the war, is continuing to build a bomb, and he's going to threaten Israel, my homeland, and the entire world as an extension. So guys, I support Zelensky and his efforts. I support him, don't get me wrong. But you illogical, devolved clowns, please, and I'm talking about you guys on the internet, on Twitter, please spare me your Ukrainian flag virtue signaling and your dementia-induced threats about oligarch yachts, Mr. Biden. Okay? Mr. Biden and his crackhead son are friends with all kinds of oligarchs in Ukraine and in Russia and in China. And his speeches, he didn't write his own speech. You know who wrote it? Shmo Mama. It's the same guy who didn't care about Iranians. I highly doubt he cares about Ukrainians. These people, they are using these people as a sacrificial lamb on a battlefield for their pretend moralism. Guys, with all that said, don't get me wrong. I'm just going to end with this. Hashem should, in this month of Adar and in Purim, destroy this Botox midget of Russia, and Hashem should unravel all of the plans of these devolved pagans who have hijacked America and Europe and the rest of the free world, who have been terrorizing us with their medical tyranny for 2 years, and now they think we're going to forget because they caused this war now. No, my friends, we're not going to forget. And B'ezrat Hashem, these guys should go down in Adar, and we should have a Geulah in Nisan/Pesach. Amen, amen. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.